Hi guys, thank you so much for watching. This tutorial is how to do this green, smoky, cat eye look. I kind of did like an inner cat eye, and that's the first time I've ever done that, but I think it turned out pretty cool. I like how it turned out. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy. Please excuse my dogs in the background. Hey! You wanna say hi? You say hi? Say hi! Oh. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Hi guys, today we're going to start with foundation, and first I am doing a mix of Rimmel Lasting Finish 103 True Ivory and True Match Lumi Mix W6 Warm. I mixed both of those because one's a little bit more matte and one is a little bit more dewy, and I kind of wanted a mix of both. So I pumped those on my hand, mix them together, and then I'm applying that with a big, I think it's called a kabuki brush, and I got this one from Ulta. And I just really try to smooth that in all over my face, even down to my neck, so everything's blended, just to kind of even out your complexion. I chose to contour with cream, and I don't think I've done this in a video. Maybe I have. You can either do this with powder or cream, but I decided to do it with cream. This is just a CoverGirl concealer stick in the darkest color they offer, and I just kind of marked out where I was wanting to contour. I did the cheekbones and then a little bit on my forehead to try to make it appear like my forehead's a little smaller because it's massive. So and then I'm just taking a stipple brush and I'm just kind of blending into my hairline to kind of give a little bit more of a shadow again, to try to make my forehead look a little smaller. And then I'm just going to blend that contour on my cheekbones as well, and try to, and again, it might look muddy at first, but don't let it scare you. Just keep going over it and over it, and then you can always add more if you feel like it's not as defined. Did you notice my line didn't go like all the way in, towards the corner of my mouth? Because when it goes in that far, I can't make it look like natural, so I just do it slightly inward because blending out will take it as far as I need it to go. So I just go back and forth, again blending it into the hairline, and again I'm just using a stipple brush for that. I always make the fishy face. It helps me see like where my cheekbones are setting. The camera was kind of picking up, looking at my forehead looking a little bit more muddy, but I don't think it looked like that in person. Then I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm using the Naked Skin Urban Decay Concealer in medium. This is like the third time I've used this. I just got it. Normally I'm a MAC Pro Longwear concealer girl, but everybody was raving about it, so I went ahead and got it since I ran out of concealer. And I really did like it. I will say it does not make me crease as much under my eyes, because I think it has a little bit more of a moisturizing. But everybody has really liked it, and I did like it too. So it was really easy to blend out also. So I put a little bit under my eyes, on top of my eyelids to prime, on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and then my chin to kind of even out a little bit of a highlight that it gives. Because again, your concealer is supposed to be a little lighter than your foundation. So then I just blend that out with a damp beauty blender. This one is like the Real Techniques one that you can get at Ulta, so it's not like the actual beauty blender brand. But I guess they're cheaper, and mine works like just fine. I just bought a new cup of one at Ulta because I got a gift card, so. But you just go back and forth over and over that. Again, you want to get it damp first, squeeze it under the sink a few times, and then I just think it's a really easy way to blend out concealer. And sometimes I'll go in after I do this first blending step, and I'll go in with a little bit more concealer under my eyes, but that's only if I'm having a real tired day. So to set it, I'm going to use a loose powder by Tarte. It is called Smooth Operator. I got this in one of my Ipsy bags. If you guys don't know what Ipsy is, it's like a monthly makeup bag that you can get. And it comes with like a little bag, and then it has all kinds of different products that you can try. I think it's like $10 a month. But that came inside of that, and I really, really like it. It's so smooth, and I don't feel like when I touch my face, I'm going to like wipe any off. Like, it's a really, really good setting powder. So I really like this better than my pressed powder that I normally use. So I just kind of dab that under my cheekbones to define that contour a little bit, and then everywhere where I put that concealer. Some of the other spots you can see I'm going to use my normal powder, which is by Rimmel. I think it's called Stay Matte and Translucent, and I just kind of patted that everywhere lightly where I kind of put the concealer, the dark concealer for the contour, that way it wouldn't rub off. So again, I didn't use a whole lot. For blush, I'm using an Alcone blush. It's kind of like a dirty rose color. I don't know what they're numbered on the website, but I'll try to like attach it below. But that's what I use for the blush. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to contour my nose, which I never do because I feel like I always look like Michael Jackson when I do it. So that was the face for that. So I'm going to use that same CoverGirl stick, and I'm just kind of doing the bottom part of my nose, because when I've tried to go all the way up the bridge of my nose, that's when it starts looking really weird. The top of my nose is like skinny, but the bottom I feel like is fatter, so that's why I just did it there. And then I just took a really dense brush and I just kind of blended it outward, because you want that inner part to be light. And so I just kind of tried to slowly blend up and down, and then again blend the bottom part kind of under my nose there. But again, normally I don't do this. Definitely not on a daily basis, because I also feel like it like my pores soak it up, and it makes me look like I have blackheads. So normally I don't do that, but I figured for kind of like I just give it a shot, because you know it's makeup, it washes off. So for my eyebrows, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in chocolate, and then I'm using an angled brush. I always dip it in there, and then to kind of get the majority of it off, I'll dip it in the cap and kind of like that way I don't have like a huge amount on my brush, and then I just slowly kind of go back and forth into that cap to kind of redistribute it on my brush, and then I'll go in. My eyebrows take forever because I have none, but eyebrows just take a little bit of practice, because I remember when I first started, mine looked really like manly, but it just takes practice. I still hope that one day I don't look back and I'm like, what's going on with what was I thinking? But I always know to try to keep the outer part darker, and then the inner part, like towards your nose, lighter. So it's supposed to make it look more natural when you can kind of, it's not as like drawn on. So then I went in with a spoolie brush just to kind of blend it out. That's another thing that helps it make a little bit more natural. The spoolie is just, it kind of looks like a mascara brush, but it has nothing on it, and you just kind of brush it through so it blends the product through your brows. The other thing I used was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in chocolate, because people said that this is really good for keeping the hairs in place, because I have some crazy hairs that go every which way. I don't really know if it's worth the money. I think it was like $18, and I could do without it. Like, I didn't really think it made a difference. So I do love the Dipbrow Pomade though, and the Brow Wiz, but the Brow Gel didn't really do much for me. So I'm going to use the Morphe 350 palette to do my eyes. First, I'm just going to go in with the transition color to kind of start putting in that crease. I did just kind of a warm brown, and I'm just taking a fluffy brush and putting that in the crease, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Again, this is, I think, one of the most important steps to help it be a gradient effect. Then I went in with this a little bit more of like an orangey brown. It kind of had some red tones, kind of like a sienna. And I'm putting that deeper in the crease in the outer corner, again, for another transition tone. And then this is a little bit of a different brush. It's fluffy, but it's a little bit more flat. There's a little bit of a closer up version. So again, just blend back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Again, you can always add more. So this, I sprayed my brush with Fix Plus, and then I realized that I wanted to put this white in my inner corner first. So ignore that. I kind of put these out of order, but this is just, I think it's by Rimmel. It's Scandalous Eye Pencil in white. I think it's like a, what is it? Eyeshadow stick or crown, yeah. And I got the white one, and I'm just putting that in my tear duct area, because for the cat eye, inner eye thing that I'm going to do, I want it to be really bright, and I didn't think a shadow would do it as much as like this stick would. So then I'm going to go in with that brush I sprayed, and I'm taking this like greenish brown black. It just is more of like a dark brown black shade, but it has like green undertones. So I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my eye, and then on the outer corner of my eye. Normally when I'm doing smoky eyes, I just like to put it on the outer corner of my eye and then keep the inner one a little bit like of the different color, because I feel like my eyes are smaller and it makes them look bigger. But I wanted to try something a little bit different again with this, trying to go outside my comfort zone a little bit. So then I put the dark green black on the outside and then the inside of the eye. I'm sorry, both of the outer edges of the eye. And then I'm taking a couple different green shades from my Coastal Scents palette and putting that right in the middle of the lid to kind of just give a pop of green. Then I'm taking the black shade from my Alcone palette because I feel like it's one of the blackest blacks I have that does not give a lot of fallout, which means, you know, when the shadow falls on your face. So I'm going to go in with that over that greenish brown shade. Now, looking back on this, I think that I might have wanted to do this first before I did my foundation and concealer, because there was a little bit of fallout that was, you know, it was pretty much easy for me to clean up. But I think next time if I'm doing dark shadows like this, I might reverse what I'm doing. So I went back with a blending brush and I'm just going back and forth to kind of blend those blacks and greens into those transition shades. So again, it's just not like, so it looks blended. And so I'm going to do the same steps on my other eye, taking that green brownish black shade. I know that's like the worst description ever. And then putting that green right in the middle. Again, I used a couple different ones because some of them are not as pigmented as others, which you'll find if you get that. But again, I got it for like 30 bucks on Amazon. And I really like it because it has 3 different layers in every color you could ever need. So, and then I'm going to go back and forth with that blending brush again, just to kind of blend all those colors out so we don't have any sharp lines. Blend those into those transition colors. That's what those are for. And then I'm going to go in with liner, and I'm going to use Line Stiletto by Maybelline. I'm just using this for the outer, outer cat eye. And then for my lid, I'm going to use my Alcone liner because I love that Alcone liner, but mine's wearing down, so the point on it isn't as thick, or I'm sorry, isn't as sharp as I wish it was. So I'm using this to create that sharp point, and then I'm using the Alcone to line the rest of my eye. Excuse me. I can't talk. With this Maybelline Line Stiletto, I like it when you're first putting it on, but it kind of flakes on me throughout the day, and I don't like that, because then I feel like I have to bring it to touch up. So I would not necessarily recommend, and I also like when my eyeliners are a little bit more matte versus have shine. So this one isn't my favorite. Definitely the Alcone one is my favorite, but again, since that end was wearing, I felt like I needed to use this to get a more precise point. It's okay, but for me, it just started flaking after like a couple hours, and so I don't know if I'd recommend the Maybelline Line Stiletto eyeliner. But anyway, that's what I use for those outer cat eyes. And then again, for the rest of the line, I just use my Alcone eyeliner, which again, I will list below in the description bar. But it is my favorite black eyeliner because it's matte, it's so easy to use, and it has a perfect point. Again, mine wore down, as you can kind of see. But it's maybe because I used it on so many clients. But, so anyway, I really like that eyeliner. I'm going to take the Line Stiletto and do this kind of inner cat eye thing, which I had never done before except for some fun shoots. I'd never done it on me. This is not something I would normally wear. But I will say that this eyeliner stayed really well on my lower lash line, more so than I thought it would. I thought it would be flaky and do the same thing it does on the top of my eyelids, but it didn't. But I did not keep it on, you know, all day. But this is definitely something a little bit more dramatic for a special occasion. This is not an everyday look, obviously. But I really wanted to try this because I've seen how it makes people's eyes look really, really, really cool, exotic, and big. And I feel like I have smaller eyes, so I wanted to make them big. So I just kind of drew a small line again. Start small because you can always add instead of going in gung-ho and then messing it up and then you've messed up everything. If you do mess it up a little bit, you can always go in with some concealer and like a little brush and clean it up. I was lucky enough to be pretty lucky with it. It was hard kind of making them look even, but again, I just went really slow with it. So I'm going to go in with that flat brush. And I'm just taking a black shadow and I'm kind of just putting it along the lower lash line to blend out that black sharp line. I I kind of went back and forth what I was doing with this. I did black on the outer corner, and then I put some of that green to put in the middle, so it kind of matched my upper lid. And I think I did like how that turned out. The only thing I was iffy about is I wondered if I should put that white eye kohl in kind of like where my tear duct area is, and then do black liner in my waterline. I'm sorry that it's a little out of focus there. I just use my camera that I shoot with, and so it doesn't have automatic focus, so I have to use like sticks to make sure I'm in focus. Like when I'm sitting, I have to like pull things at the camera to make sure that I'm in focus, and I can't see myself when I'm recording, so I'm sorry if it's ever out of focus. But so I put a little bit of green there in the middle of my eye, so you can kind of see. And then I decided that I wanted a little extra pop, so I do have like this green eyeliner that kind of matched the shadows, so I decided to put that in my waterline. I also took that black shadow to kind of outline the bottom part of that black inner cat eye, if you can kind of see that. So this is the waterline I'm doing with this green eyeliner. I think it's from Rimmel, I believe. And then I'm going to highlight with Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop that was designed by Jaclyn Hill, which I love. And I love Jaclyn Hill. She is my favorite. I'm just putting that on the tops of my cheekbones. And then I decided to put a little bit on my Cupid's bow, which is the top part of your lip. It's supposed to make your lip appear a little bit larger, which I need because I have no upper lip. I have a nice bottom lip, but no upper lip. So I just took a little bit of that and dusted it over the Cupid's bow to kind of make it appear a little larger. And then I'm taking a little bit on my finger and dabbing it on the center tip of my nose to kind of give it a little bit of highlight because we contoured it. And then I'm going to take MAC Shroom, which is a good highlighting powder from MAC, and I'm just going to put that on my eyebrow bone. This is a really important one because it kind of brings in the highlight in from the inner corner too. I'm just going to put a little mascara on before I put those fake lashes on, and I am using the Jordana Best Lash. It's like black and purple, but it's like really cheap mascara, but I love it. It is like one of my favorite mascaras, and it's only like $3 or $5. It's like ridiculous, but I get it at Walgreens. It's like at the makeup where you like pay. If you can't find the Jordana section. The lashes I'm using are Flutter Lashes in the style Ashley. These are mink lashes. I don't like these as much as my Red Cherry number 47 or 43 because they're really uncomfortable, and I feel like the mink lashes come out really easily. So they're gorgeous on, but they're not very comfortable, and they're expensive also. For the lips, I'm doing a mixture of two different colors. One of them is another product I got in my Ipsy bag, the one I'm using right now. Let me see if I have it that I can read it off to you. The other color I'm using is 529, which is Talia in NYX Cosmetics. I love this lipstick. It's so creamy. So that's kind of what I did, just a nudish kind of mauve lip and for this green eye look. I hope that you guys like this. I hope it was helpful. Please keep watching. If you want to see anything else, just let me know. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.